What's up, y'all? It's your boy Static Therapy, back with another video. Today, I was kind of going to switch it up. I know I usually do car videos and all that stuff, but like I might just start reacting to everything. It's not that I don't like cars. I love cars. It's just it gets tiring reacting to them. But I would rather see them in person 10 times over a fucking screen. But today we're going to be looking at conspiracy theories. Now, I'm not going to say I know everything because I know I don't. But I know the truth about a lot of these. And like, I'm going to debunk or whatever he says, I'm going to follow up on that. Hopefully he's right about everything. Hopefully he is right about everything. But, you know, we don't know until we watch the video. Isn't that right? All right, let's go. Let me stop playing with y'all, bro. Fuck your head, boy. Stop
The
playing.
9/11 conspiracy theory suggests that the September 11th, 2001 terrorist attacks were either deliberately orchestrated by the US government or they allowed it to happen in order to justify military interventions in domestic
You know what's
policies.
crazy? Both. If I went deeper on that, bro, y'all would be like, no way.
While the official account attributes the attacks to
But
the
if you look
Islamic
more into
extremist
it, you'll
group
see,
Al-Qaeda, led by Osama bin Laden, many
Yeah.
conspiracy theorists argue that the true story is
see.
far more complex and nefarious.
Right.
These theories propose several alternative explanations, with some claiming that the US government, specifically figures within the Bush administration, were involved in a false flag operation to provoke public support for wars in the Middle East, specifically in Afghanistan and Iraq, and
For
others
sure,
believe that
that upped the
intelligence
war
agencies,
a
like the
lot.
CIA,
A
had
lot,
foreknowledge
for
of the
sure.
attacks, and either failed to act or intentionally ignored the threats. A key aspect of the conspiracy focuses on the collapse of the Twin Towers in the nearby World Trade Center 7 building. Theories argue that controlled demolitions, and not the impact of the planes or the resulting fires, caused the buildings to fall. Architects, engineers, and demolition experts are often cited by believers in
I
this
got a
conspiracy
cold, bro.
to back up their
I got the
claims.
flu, so
Additionally, some theorists
shit.
believe that the Pentagon
Y'all
was
better
not
be
hit
lucky
by
I'm
a
doing
commercial
this.
plane, but by a missile, and that evidence, such as surveillance footage, was
Really?
withheld. The 9/11 conspiracy theories began gaining momentum shortly after the attacks, driven by
Facts.
skepticism of the official 9/11 Commission report and the rapid spread of alternative explanations that rose from the internet. Films like Loose Change and websites such as 9/11 Truth also helped make these ideas popular. Despite extensive investigations debunking these claims, the theories continue to resonate with a portion of the public, often fueled by broader distrust of the government, media, and official narratives. The moon landing conspiracy theory centers on the claim that NASA
I
faked
damn
the
near don't
Apollo
even wanna
moon
talk
landings in
about this.
1969.
Yes, of course
According
they
to people
did.
who believe in this theory, the US government staged the landing in order to win the space race against the Soviet Union, boost national morale, and assert technological dominance during the Cold War. They argued that the landings, specifically the Apollo 11 mission, in which Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin became the first humans to walk on the moon, were filmed on Earth, possibly in a studio. This conspiracy theory began circulating in
Let me pause that. Look up Devon's Island. Just gonna throw that out there. Look up Devon's Island and then just
the
come
early
back.
1970s, shortly after the Apollo 11
Or
mission,
just look it up
and
after
a
the video.
1974 book by Bill Kaysing called We Never Went to the Moon, America's $30 billion Swindle, is credited with popularizing the
and that's
idea.
another thing, bro. I keep saying this. NASA is literally just like Hollywood, bro. It's all staged. The world is a stage, duh. But like it's all a stage for sure.
Kaysing, a former employee of a NASA contractor, claimed to have inside knowledge and cited supposed inconsistencies in the moon landing footage and photographs. He argued that the US lacked the technology to safely land on the moon.
Oh,
in
for
return.
sure.
Key arguments of moon
You
landing
telling
hoax
me
believers
y'all can go to the moon and the stuff I got now, bro? We should be able to. I don't even want to get into it. If I have a flu, man, I'd be ranting for days because it's crazy. Like it's kind of weird. I mean, as a child, I believed in the moon landing, of course. The older I got, I'm like, no way in hell, because you got to think if that's the case, that means fucking all the stuff we got now, they should have had back then when this shit happened. Like for real.
include inconsistencies in the photos and videos, such as the lack of stars in the sky, the way shadows appear, and the way that the American flag seems to wave in the airless environment of the moon. They also question why no
Yeah.
further manned missions have occurred since Apollo 17.
I like it when people
the theory
point
gained
shit out.
traction over the decades through documentaries, books, and later the internet, and this conspiracy taps into a broader distrust of government and authority figures, and despite extensive evidence debunking this theory, including rock samples, telemetry data, and testimonies from astronauts, it remains prominent for many many who believe in conspiracy theories. The JFK assassination conspiracy theory revolves around the belief that President John F. Kennedy's assassination on November 22nd, 1963 was not the work of a lone gunman.
Last good president we ever had, just so y'all know. Every other president, fuck no. Fuck no. I don't give a fuck if it's Obama, Trump, Bush, bitch. I don't give a fuck. No.
But rather the result of a larger, more sinister plot. The official accounts, based on the Warren Commission's investigation, concluded that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone in shooting Kennedy from the Texas School Book Depository in Dallas, Texas. However, many believe this explanation is incomplete or a cover-up. Conspiracy theories began almost immediately after the assassination, fueled by conflicting reports in the sudden murder of Oswald by a nightclub owner, Jack Ruby, 2 days later. Skeptics question how Oswald, a relatively unknown figure, could have orchestrated the killing of such a high-profile target alone. Some theorists argue that multiple gunmen were involved, pointing to
doesn't even look like he will ever do some shit like that. He look like, I just want the money for it. Like, legit. That was literally how this nigga looked. You're like, I don't care. I know it's fake, so I'm gonna get paid. You guys can take pictures all you
Grassy
want.
Knoll as a second possible shooting location. Numerous conspiracy theories emerged, bringing in various different people and organizations into the assassination, including the CIA, the FBI, the Soviet Union, and even Kennedy's own vice president, Lyndon B. Johnson. Many believe the government covered up crucial evidence, such as medical records and surveillance footage, to conceal the true perpetrators and their motives, which ranged from stopping Kennedy's foreign policies to preventing his re-election. The release of the Zapruder film in 1975, showing Kennedy's head snapping backward after the fatal shot, intensified public skepticism of the official narrative. The U.S. House Select Committee on Assassinations later reinvestigated the case in the late 1970s and concluded that there was a probable conspiracy, although it upheld much of the Warren Commission's findings. The JFK assassination conspiracy theory remains one of the most debated events in modern history, with new theories continuing to emerge and attract public interest. The Flat Earth conspiracy theory
I just want to say this also as well. I don't know too much about this one. This one, I kind of do believe the earth is flat, but also I kind of do believe it's just, you can go back and forth every day and every night. I mean, we're lied about everything. So, like, you can bring, like, stuff to be like, this is why it's a globe, this and the third. Well, we can also go back and be like, well, you were lied about that information. So what are we, what the fuck? Like, you think it equates to this? It doesn't. It doesn't. I know you think it does because that's what you've been programmed to think, but nah. I understand, but like, nah. I mean, now flat Earth, I kind of do. I don't know. From a man outside Antarctica, he ain't even got Antarctica on here. Man, I'm getting into that, boy. But anyways, what I was going to say is a conspiracy theory is basically, to me, like what I've like realized, like the reason why people call it a conspiracy theory is because not everyone believes it. They say, "Oh, it's a conspiracy theory because it's a theory." No, it's a fact. It's just the whole public doesn't want to like admit it or some shit, or they don't want to believe that the government lied to. I don't know, but yeah, it's a conspiracy theory is pretty much what most people will not want to believe, even though they may think and know it's true. They just don't want to believe it.
Is the belief that the Earth is not a globe, as commonly accepted by science,
I
but
believe
instead is
this.
flat. Believers
Yeah, I
of this
believe this,
conspiracy argue that
but not
governments,
completely.
space agencies, and scientists have been
Because it's all weird. It's all weird. It is. When you go down this rabbit hole, it's just like you got some that can say it's flat, and we got answers to justify it, but it's the same way with globe, and I think we'll just never figure that one out. This one is a true conspiracy theory. Like, I just don't think, I mean, unless somebody come to me and prove hard facts why it's flat or why it's a globe, I think this could be considered a true conspiracy theory because, I mean, it's not like there's really no truth behind it. I mean, because both sides can present hard evidence, and it's not gonna matter because
lying about the
both of
true
them are
shape of the
kind of
Earth in a
accurate.
massive conspiracy, possibly for financial gain or to maintain control over the populace.
Yeah,
According to
that
this
too.
theory, the Earth is a flat disk with the
But
North Pole at its center.
see, but that's another thing that kind of went me down the rabbit hole, and this either is way more deep than I know, because this isn't all I know. I know way more than this. This is just conspiracy theories, whatever you want to call it. But that's where I kind of get at. Like, if it was flat, why are y'all lying about it? Like, who cares? Like, genuinely, who cares? Like, if you're lying, you're like, I don't get it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't get it. But it's whatever. I don't understand it. That means either if you're lying about it and it's actually flat, that means we got a way bigger fucking problem. That means you just lied about fucking shit. Man,
and
going
Antarctica
down that
as an
rabbit
ice
hole.
wall that surrounds the edges, preventing people from falling off. Although the idea of a flat Earth dates back to ancient civilizations, it was debunked by scientific discoveries, including those of the Greek philosopher Pythagoras and later astronomers like Copernicus and Galileo. The modern flat Earth theory, however, re-emerged in the mid-20th century, most notably with Samuel Robotham's book Zetetic Astronomy, Earth Not a Globe, which laid the groundwork for flat Earth beliefs in the modern era. The theory gained renewed attention in the 2000s with the rise of the internet, with flat Earth conventions and groups such as the Flat Earth Society contributing to its
I heard of them.
spread.
Crazy.
Supporters point to so-called inconsistencies in photos of Earth from space,
I hate hitting a
unusual flight
fucking
paths,
arm on
and
this
what
shit.
they consider to be faulty scientific assumptions about gravity and the horizon. Despite overwhelming evidence proving the Earth is round, including satellite images, GPS technology, and centuries of scientific research, this theory still persists on. The Illuminati conspiracy theory claims that a secretive, powerful group known as the Illuminati controls world events and governments, aiming to establish a new world order. According to believers, this hidden elite manipulates political, financial, and social systems to consolidate power.
Yes and no. I mean, like, you know, as far as this goes, because I know he's about to get on the Freemason topic. I mean, I kind of look at them the same. I feel like Illuminati is more of a musical industry, or more of that industry, where Freemasons are more political. So I think what he's about to describe is like reverse, because the Freemasons still do churches and all that stuff. And that's a bigger story on. That's a way bigger story on that. I mean, I feel like they both work hand in hand, but what I don't know.
Create global instability, and exert total control over humanity. The theory often alleges that influential figures, such as politicians, celebrities, and business leaders, are members of the shadowy organization. The origins of the Illuminati
Not a part
lie
of
in a real
Illuminati, though.
historical group founded in Bavaria
I
in
don't think.
1776 by Adam Weishaupt, a professor who sought to promote Enlightenment ideals of reason, secularism, and equality. However, this original Illuminati disbanded by the late 1780s due to government repression. Despite its dissolution, the myth of a secret Illuminati society persisted, particularly after being linked to other secretive organizations like the Freemasons. The modern Illuminati conspiracy began to gain traction in the 1960s and 70s, fueled by countercultural movements and books like the Illuminatis trilogy by Robert Anton Wilson and Robert Shea. In this satirical work, the Illuminati was portrayed as a global group, mixing fact and fiction in a way that captivated conspiracy theorists. Over time, the theory evolved, suggesting that the Illuminati orchestrates wars, controls the banking system, and even manipulates cultural trends, such as the entertainment industry and technology.
like-
The internet.
I feel like, I mean, I know it's deeper. I know it's probably them, but like, we all know who controls central banking and all this stuff. But I think, I don't know. I truly don't know. I don't know how to feel about the Illuminati. Because I don't really, that rabbit hole I haven't really been down as much. Freemasons, yeah, I've been down there for a minute. But I couldn't tell you too much about Illuminati.
Specifically in the 1990s and 2000s, played a major role in spreading the Illuminati theory. Symbols like the all-seeing eye or the pyramid, which appear on the US dollar bill, are often cited as evidence of the Illuminati's influence. Pop culture icons have been falsely accused of being Illuminati members, reinforcing the theory's presence in modern discourse.
Man, every time I spit, bro, I get chills, bro. This shit, hey, this flu ain't no joke, bro.
The Freemason
Telling you.
conspiracy theory revolves around the idea that the Freemasonry, a fraternal organization with roots in medieval guilds, is a secretive, powerful group that manipulates world events and governments from behind the scenes. The origins of Freemasonry as a conspiracy date back to the 18th century, when the organization became more public and influential in Europe and America. Initially, Freemasonry was a network of craftsmen and builders who emphasized moral teachings, personal development, and brotherhood. However, its secretive rituals, symbols, and exclusive membership sparked much suspicion. The anti-Masonic movements gained momentum in the late 18th and early 19th centuries, particularly after the disappearance of William Morgan, a man who threatened to expose the secrets of Freemasonry in 1826, which led to widespread paranoia in the US. Conspiracy theories about Freemasons gained further prominence in the 19th century as anti-Masonic political parties formed, and later, in the 20th century, when totalitarian regimes, like Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union, targeted Freemasons, accusing them of being part of a global plot for domination. Freemason conspiracies often involve claims that their members hold key positions of power in government, finance, and influential institutions. Symbols associated with Freemasonry, such as the square and compass, the all-seeing eye, and pyramids, are often cited as proof of their hidden influence. Despite being a charitable organization focused on personal growth, the secrecy surrounding their meetings and rituals has allowed Freemason conspiracy theories to thrive. The Area 51 conspiracy theory is centered around the belief that the US government is hiding evidence of extraterrestrial life and advanced alien technology at a highly classified
if you think aliens still
facility
exist, my nigga, I mean, you can think it. You know, I'm not gonna think you're stupid or whatever. I just don't believe in aliens at all. Going down that rabbit hole is very easy, honestly. It really is, because if we fake the moon landing, I know damn well we ain't gonna extraterrestrials on this planet. I mean, we can, and they can just land here. And that's what some people think. But I know the truth. I know
Nevada.
the hard
Area
truth.
51,
I know for
officially
sure,
known as Groom Lake,
120% the
is a
truth.
remote site used by the US Air Force for testing experimental aircraft and weapons systems. The conspiracy theory alleges that, in addition to military testing, Area 51 is the storage and research hub for crashed UFOs, alien bodies, and secret extraterrestrial technology. The theory gained momentum.
So, whatever on the alien topic. Area 51, I think I have like 2 or 3 theories. I think either Area 51 is a cover-up. Number 2, it's an underground laboratory for multiple fucking species that they do on humans. Like, they'll inject a human with that. Like, I forgot. It was that one girl. I don't know her name. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Anybody that's in conspiracy theories and know about Area 51, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. But I cannot remember her name. But yeah, they do human experiments on here, down there. Trust me. That's why, like, if some people were to go on that site and they drove around, whatever, you wouldn't see shit. Like, you genuinely wouldn't see, even if you went inside the base, you wouldn't see shit because it's all underground. Now, you might see a couple of, fighter jets or whatever, this and that, the third, because they got to make it look like, some shit there. They can't just fucking leave it empty, then they're going to be like, what the fuck? But yeah. That's why it's so widely blocked off, even though it's all the way down there. No, there's a big ass tunnel. Like, soon as you enter that gate, the tunnel's right there pretty much. Trust me. It's deep. It's deep.
In 1974, after the infamous Roswell incident, when a mysterious object crashed near Roswell, New Mexico. While the US military claimed it was a weather balloon, conspiracy theorists have long suspected that it was actually a UFO and that wreckage and alien remains were transported to Area 51 for study. In the following decades,
they're not aliens or something else, but also, it could have happened. They could have accidentally did some shit and then flipped, crashed, whatever, just not the third, and then it might have been them, and then people thought it was
surrounding the facility fueled speculation about what was happening inside. In 1989, a man named Bob Lazar claimed he had worked on reverse engineering alien spacecraft at a facility near Area 51, further popularizing the theory. Lazar's accounts of advanced propulsion systems and extraterrestrial technology.
I know these exist. I know the UFOs and all these exist. They will be used. I'm not gonna say too much. I'm not trying to, but they will be used. Not sure when, couldn't tell you. But he probably did work on them. But not for the reason I think he thinks, because the government's gonna lie to him. Trust me. The government's gonna lie to him, tell him aliens exist, this and that, the third. We need you to work on this flying saucer, that shit. But
being
go
studied by the government ignited public curiosity and cemented Area 51 as a focal point of UFO conspiracy culture. Area 51's secretive nature, restricted airspace, and heavily guarded perimeter have only added to the allure. Sightings of strange lights, unidentified flying objects, and unusual aircraft around the area are often cited as evidence of extraterrestrial technology. The theory grew in popularity in the 1990s.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that don't happen, because trust me, it do happen. We just can't see them because trust me, they use a cloak kind of thing. So yeah, for like transportation, I mean, it might be rare that they do it. I don't know how often they do. I couldn't tell you all that, but I know like 99.9% that they would use a cloak. Imagine if a fucking real person, or they just fucking flew that shit across the fucking states. Oh, the fucking media would be in a panic. People would be in a panic. Like, what the fuck? No, they have to cloak it. They have to cloak it. If not, they have to drive it. They have to use, military vehicles and transport it that way, but they have to completely cover it up. I'm not talking about no damn tarp. I mean, they might use a tarp. I mean, and sometimes even a tarp might be used for publicity, because they might show a little bit just to be like, oh yeah, we got alien, that kind of shit. Bro, like, government is smart, bro.
With the rise of the internet and media coverage,
For sure,
including
like,
TV shows like The
don't doubt them.
X-Files, despite official explanations that Area 51 is used for advanced aviation testing, the mystery around it continues to fascinate
Basically,
conspiracy
hold on.
theorists.
Basically, the easiest way I could put Area 51 is that it's SCP. The
Who
experiment.
believe the government is hiding the truth about alien life.
Literally.
The chemtrails conspiracy theory claims
for
that the
sure.
trails of
Oh, this is
condensation left
110%
by
true.
airplanes, known as
Yeah.
contrails, are actually
We're
chemical
poisoned-
agents
yeah, we're
being
poisoned every
deliberately
day.
sprayed into the atmosphere by governments or shady
They have
organizations.
to do it. They have to do it every morning, because that's the only way they can keep it how. Because like, if they didn't do it one morning or some shit like that, I'm pretty sure the world would look different, or the sky would look different, and we would notice it. And then but for sure we're being poisoned, and those are chemtrails. I mean, we're pretty much their food, to be honest with you.
Covert purposes. According to believers, these chemtrails are part of secretive programs involving weather modification, population control, or biological warfare. Believers of this theory think that the chemicals dispersed could include toxins, heavy metals, or other harmful substances designed to manipulate human behavior, health,
Yeah.
or the environment. Contrails, which are the
They want it-
condensation
they-
trails,
That's the thing. They want to keep you sluggish. They want to keep you down. They want to keep you like this. Like how I'm feeling right now, they want to keep you like that. Like, this flu shit is no joke. That's a whole nother story. Yeah, he's about to get to it. The vaccine shit.
formed
he's
when
about to
water
get to it.
vapor and airplane exhaust condenses into ice crystals at high altitudes, have been a common sight since the early days of aviation. However, the chemtrails conspiracy began gaining traction in the mid-1990s when people started observing contrails that lingered in the sky longer than usual, spreading out into a thin haze. Conspiracy theorists
I wanna skip
interpreted
this
this as
back.
evidence of chemical spraying rather than a natural occurrence. The
Yeah.
internet and social media played a
Yeah, if it was
significant
natural,
role
I
in
feel like it was
popularizing
more
this
like
theory,
that.
and some also linked the theory to geoengineering
I mean,
efforts,
and it might
suggesting
look
that
like that.
chemtrails are being used to combat climate change by reflecting sunlight
do a
away
lot
from
of
the
stuff,
Earth,
man.
although in a
It's too
harmful or
much.
unethical way. Despite numerous scientific
try not to lose
studies
your
and
mind and
expert
all that shit.
explanations
It's just,
debunking the
it's
theory,
just
stating that
ridiculous.
contrails are a well-understood
nigga, just take me
atmospheric
out.
phenomenon and that no evidence supports the presence of harmful chemicals, the chemtrail theory persists. It remains a focal point for those skeptical of government transparency, scientific
won't
consensus,
count. Sorry.
and environmental policies, often overlapping with broader
Boy.
anti-government and anti-globalization beliefs. The reptilian elite's conspiracy theory is the belief that a race of shape-shifting reptilian aliens, or reptoids, have infiltrated human society
Correct.
and secretly control world governments,
Correct.
corporations,
Correct.
and other influential institutions.
Correct.
According to the theory,
Exactly.
these reptilian
is
beings
the
can
truth.
assume human form and have
Yeah.
been manipulating global events for centuries
Fucking
to
yeah.
maintain control
Nah,
over
legit.
humanity and establish a totalitarian world government. But the theory was popularized in the 1990s by David Icke, a British writer and former sports broadcaster who claimed that many world leaders, including prominent figures such as the British royal family, US presidents, and other elites, are either reptilian themselves or are controlled by reptilians.
Yeah, for
Icke's
sure.
work ties
For
this
sure,
conspiracy
anybody
to
up
ancient myths and
there,
legends of serpent-like creatures, as well as ideas about
high
secretive
up
societies
in the
and the
world is
Illuminati,
for sure
suggesting that the
controlled by
reptilian elites
an
are
elite
behind many of the
of some
world's
sort.
conflicts, financial crises, and social issues. Believers of this theory often claim that reptilians feed on human suffering and fear, which is why they engineer wars, political turmoil, and disasters. Some even believe
Okay,
that the
okay.
reptilians are
You know what? I'm happy that you
interdimensional
brought that up. I really don't want to say this, but I'm going to God help me. So let's reverse what he just said, right?
Saying that the reptilian elites
So-
are behind many of the world's conflicts, financial crises, and social issues. Believers of this theory often claim that reptilians feed on human suffering and fear,
Okay.
which is why they engineer
Okay.
wars, political
Okay.
turmoil,
Yeah.
and disasters.
All
Some
right.
even believe that the reptilians are interdimensional beings that possess advanced technology and psychic abilities, allowing them to manipulate human consciousness. Signs of their presence
That's why the frequency shit, bro. It's a long story. But this is true. I want y'all to put in the comments, why do you think they think that reptilians feed off of the fear and all of the war and all that stuff? Why do you think that? Let me know in the comments. Like, genuinely, I want to know. I know the for sure answer, but I want to know what you know. Like, I want to know what you
are
know.
found in ancient texts, cultural symbolism, and even the physical characteristic of certain people, such as cold-bloodedness or unusual behavior. The reptilian conspiracy gained momentum through the internet, which included footage of public figures whose eyes seemed to momentarily change or glitch. Despite being widely dismissed by scientists and skeptics as pure fantasy, the theory remains popular for those who believe in conspiracy theories. The Big Pharma suppressing cures conspiracy theory alleges that large pharmaceutical companies, often referred to as Big Pharma, intentionally suppress or withhold cures for diseases such as cancer, AIDS, and diabetes to maintain profits from selling treatments and medications. According to
Y'all smart, yes, absolutely. Think about it. If they cured everybody, they wouldn't make money. They wouldn't make money. Money is just paper, by the way. By the fucking way. Money is just paper, my nigga. I didn't even mean to do that. But money is just this. This is fucking money, bro. This right here is fucking money, bro. That's crazy. But yeah, they legit have to, yeah, they can't give you a cure. If you get a cure, then everybody's good. They don't make money, this and that, the third. But yes, they have a cure to every and any disease. But I also think I know the cure to any and all disease, at least most of them. I would say 90+% sure.
to this theory, instead of providing permanent cures, pharmaceutical companies prefer to
Consistent.
offer expensive, long-term treatments that generate continuous revenue. The theory
Yeah.
suggests that cures either already exist or could be developed,
For
but are
sure.
being kept secret by pharmaceutical
You know how many
companies.
people's have, people's is crazy. You know how many people have made a cure that hasn't been in the government and the government has taken them? Just like people that has made fucking, water powered vehicles. Like, it just runs on water. They've taken, and even some people made, I think this one dude like recycled hella shit and made gas out of that. Like, bro, they
Governments
gotta be
and
careful.
regulatory agencies. Believers argue that the financial incentives for Big Pharma to suppress cures are immense, given the billions of dollars made each year from chronic illness treatments. They believe that a one-time cure would not be as profitable as
Facts.
lifetime dependency on medications,
Facts.
which keeps patients reliant
Correct.
on drugs and treatments that manage symptoms rather than eliminate the disease. Some conspiracy theorists even claim
Sadly,
that
bro.
researchers who discover potential cures
That's why I
are
don't take,
silenced,
like I got a
discredited,
flu right now, bro. That's why I don't take no medicine, bro. Drink some hot water, bro. Get some real tea, like some fresh lemon, ginger, this and that, the third, garlic, that type shit, bro. You will be alright. Don't touch no damn NyQuil, Dayquil. In fact, if I'm gonna be real with y'all, that shit's probably gonna make you more sick than you already are. If not, it's gonna continue the sickness longer. And that's what it's supposed to do, because you're gonna buy more, you're gonna, you know what I'm saying? Think, bro, think, trust
or
me.
forced to stop their work. This theory gained popularity in the late 20th century, fueled by growing distrust of large corporations and government institutions. High-profile controversies, such as cases where pharmaceutical companies have been fined for unethical practices, have deepened public suspicion. Additionally, the rise of the internet and social media allowed theorists to spread their ideas more widely, often highlighting anecdotal stories of alternative alternative medicine practitioners who claim to have been suppressed by the medical establishments.
For sure.
Critics of the theory argue that there is no credible evidence supporting the claim that cures are being deliberately hidden, and they emphasize that scientific research is peer-reviewed and subject to
Oh,
public
detail.
scrutiny, with breakthroughs in
Yeah.
medicine, such as vaccines and new treatments, being widely shared. However, the theory persists,
Even the
often
people you
overlapping
think
with
you can
broader
trust, but you
skepticism of
can't, bro. You gotta be careful.
corporate power,
Really
government
gotta be careful.
oversight, and the healthcare industry's motives. The Jeffrey Epstein conspiracy theory revolves around the belief that Epstein, a wealthy financier and convicted sex offender, was part of a vast, powerful network that included elite individuals involving in illegal activities such as child trafficking and sexual exploitation. Epstein was arrested in 2019
It's out now. It's not a conspiracy theory. Can we like actually fucking
on
admit that
federal
shit?
charges of sex
Like,
trafficking
actually?
minors, and his death in a
That's
New
just
York
no
jail
conspiracy
ruled as
theory.
suicide, fueled
Shouldn't have been in
widespread
the first place.
speculation that he was murdered to prevent him from revealing damaging information about his influential associates. The conspiracy
lot of-
theory gained traction due
You
to
know,
the high-profile
I don't know if he has on here, but at the end I'll talk about it if he does.
nature of Epstein's connections, which included politicians, business leaders, and royalty. Some of the key figures linked to Epstein include Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew, Donald Trump, and many more. Many theorists argue that Epstein possessed compromising information on these individuals and others, leading to his supposed silencing. The abrupt nature of his death, the failure of security cameras at his cell, and inconsistencies in the official investigation created much speculation. This theory really took off after his death on August 10th, 2019, when the phrase Epstein didn't kill himself trended on social media. The theory rapidly spread across many social
I
media.
think Epstein might have been one of the few that wasn't like aliens or whatever you want to call it, reptilian. I think he might have been. I mean, he could have been. I mean, look at that fucking face. I mean, he could have been. Shit.
Platforms driven
I
by
don't
memes
know.
and viral posts that question the official narrative.
Yeah.
Theories range from the involvement of powerful politicians to intelligence agencies covering up a blackmail operation. The Epstein case became symbolic of distrust in institutions, reinforcing beliefs that powerful people operate with impunity, shielded from legal consequences. The
I'm
lack of
surprised they had Erica
accountability
Kirk
for
up there.
Epstein's accomplices and the secrecy around his wealth and criminal activities helped sustain the conspiracy, which
Bro, I'm
remains
tired,
widely
bro.
discussed even after official investigations closed. Theories persist about the extent of Epstein's criminal empire and the true cause of his death. The vaccines cause autism conspiracy theory claims that vaccines, particularly the MMR vaccine, are linked to the development of autism in children. This
I
theory
wouldn't
stems from a
be
now
surprised.
discredited 1998 study led by British doctor
Fucking-
Andrew Wakefield, who suggested that there may be a link between these two things.
Every
Despite
time I
numerous
move, bro, I
scientific
get
studies
chills.
refuting this claim, the conspiracy persists and has influenced public perceptions of vaccine safety. The theory gained traction when Wakefield's study was widely publicized, sparking fears among parents. The media coverage
Crazy enough, I
amplified the
like
findings.
back then, bro. I didn't even want to get a vaccine. My mom made me get a vaccine, bro. But this was when I was like, I mean, I was 20, but you know how black moms be, man. But yeah.
Despite the lack of evidence, in 2010, Wakefield was stripped of his medical license after it was revealed that his research was fraudulent, ethically compromised, and funded by groups pursuing lawsuits against vaccine manufacturers. His sample size was small, and no following research has validated his claims. Nonetheless, the damage was done, and anti-vaccine movements embraced the theory, with even high-profile celebrities promoting the idea, furthering its reach. Social media also played a significant role in the spread of the conspiracy, as online forums and groups created echo chambers
Now, literally,
where
it is your
vaccine
body and
misinformation
their choice.
thrived. The theory
Not kidding.
resonated with some parents,
Not
seeking an
kidding.
explanation for the rising autism
You
diagnosis
have no
rates,
say-so.
despite the fact that these increases are largely attributed to
On
better
both sides, not
diagnostic
just men and women,
practices
both.
and awareness. The reluctance to vaccinate, spurred by this belief,
You know, and what
has
I
led to
realized, bro, is once you wake up from all this, bro, like, you don't want money because it's just fucking paper. Like, Gene, it is just a fucking paper. But also at the same time, you don't want to be homeless. But at the same time, you don't want to work. Because you know that shit's some bullshit. And at the same, bro, it's just, it's a never-ending circle of fucked. Like, genuinely.
outbreaks of preventable diseases, such as measles, in communities with low vaccination rates. The theory remains a significant public health concern as it undermines confidence in vaccines, which are one of the most effective
Bro, I
tools
keep-
for
bro, I'm
preventing
finna tweak
disease.
out.
Despite overwhelming scientific consensus debunking the link, the belief continues to influence vaccine hesitancy. The Pizzagate conspiracy theory emerged in 2016.
I don't know too much about the beat. Yes, I do. Actually. I know it's like a conspiracy theory, like if they buy you pizza or pizza party or some shit, it's some crazy shit happening. There, we're about
falsely
to see.
claiming that a child trafficking ring involving high-profile politicians, including members of the Democratic Party, was being operated out of a Washington, D.C. pizzeria called Comet Ping Pong. The theory originated from hacked
crazy.
emails of John Podesta, Hillary Clinton's
Nigga, is that where Comet came from on Toy Story? Go ahead, bro.
campaign
I'm not even
manager,
gonna get
which were
into that.
released by WikiLeaks. Conspiracy theorists, particularly on platforms like 4chan and Reddit, misinterpreted and speculated about references to pizza and other foods in the emails, claiming they were coded language for pedophilia and human trafficking. This theory was fueled by social media, where it was spread by many who
Spanish
opposed
shit.
Hillary
Oh,
Clinton
yeah,
during the
y'all.
2016
They go
election,
stupid,
including
bro.
far-right figures like Alex Jones. It linked the Democratic Party, Clinton, and other elites to an underground pedophile ring, tapping into broader fears and existing conspiracy
That's why they don't want y'all to see them
narratives
Epstein
about the
files. They got
corruption of
everything
powerful
on there,
figures. The
including this
theory
shit.
spread widely, despite a complete lack of evidence, and rapidly gained popularity through viral posts. The conspiracy reached its peak when a man named Edgar Madison Welch drove from North Carolina to the Comet Ping Pong Pizzeria and fired a rifle inside the establishment in December 2016, attempting to rescue children he believed were being held captive. No
Okay.
evidence of any criminal activity was found, and Welch was arrested.
They're
Although
gonna be
thoroughly
underground, bro.
debunked,
Why are you
the
just
Pizzagate
shooting?
conspiracy theory laid the
Hold-
groundwork for later conspiracy movements like QAnon, which similarly allege widespread elite corruption
I'm
involving
about to say this
pedophilia.
video 'cause
Pizzagate
there's a
remains
lot of
significant as an
trying to
example of
watch.
how disinformation can spiral into real-world
Facts.
violence and public belief, demonstrating the dangers of viral
It's so
conspiracy
nice to have
theories
somebody
and the
like agree with you on conspiracy theories. Not even that. They can give their 2 cents and know like a lot of shit is true. Like it's so nice because like understand like that's the only conversation I crave at this point is like this type of shit, bro. I don't care about nothing else, bro. Like legit nothing
digital
else.
age. The QAnon conspiracy theory
What
is
is
the belief
this?
that global elites, including politicians,
Mm.
celebrities, and business leaders,
Sure.
are involved in child trafficking, satanic rituals, and other
We're just I feel like we just went through all this shit and saying the same damn thing. This is all true, but like no, I'm skipping this shit. Because I feel like we
forms
legit
of corruption.
just went through this shit. Like trust me, yeah. Oh, he's talking about the. Okay, hold on. He's about to talk about something else. So
The
let's listen.
QAnon
Let's
conspiracy
listen.
theory is
Because
the
I think
belief
he's
that
finna go
global
on to what I
elites,
think he
including
is.
politicians, celebrities, and business
He's not
leaders,
just saying
are
this.
involved in child trafficking, satanic rituals, and other forms of corruption. Central to the theory is the idea that Donald Trump was working to dismantle the group and expose their crimes. QAnon emerged in 2017
I
when
don't
an
think so,
anonymous
buddy.
figure, known as Q, began posting cryptic messages, which were known as Q drops, on the online forum 4chan, claiming to be a high-ranking government insider with knowledge of this hidden war between Trump and the deep state. The conspiracy theory gained rapid popularity online, initially appealing to far-right and anti-establishment communities. Q's vague and coded messages invited followers to decode them, creating a sense of participation in uncovering the supposed truth. Followers believe in the Storm, a prophesized event where Trump will arrest and expose the members of this secretive group, leading to their downfall. Despite Trump's exit from office, the theory has evolved, with believers adjusting their narratives. This theory's popularity surged during the COVID-19 pandemic, as lockdowns and uncertainty fueled online engagement with conspiracies. QAnon also tapped into pre-existing conspiracy theories, including Pizzagate, and amplified fears about elite corruption and child exploitation. The movement has had real-world consequences, with some followers engaging in violent acts, most notably the January 6, 2021 US Capitol insurrection. Although Q has stopped posting, the conspiracy theory continues to thrive among certain communities. It has been debunked repeatedly by fact-checkers, but its followers remain committed, often seeing New World events as evidence of the hidden war they believe in. The
Correct.
COVID-19 hoax conspiracy theory is the belief that the global pandemic, which
Was
began
you-
in late
Hold
2019,
on, because I completely haven't like really done anything, but I feel like he's going to say, I'm just throwing this out there. He's gonna say COVID-19 was used. You know, everybody had to get it, and it's used for programming later down the line. Like it's. I want to see what he
was
said.
either exaggerated or entirely fabricated by governments,
Oh, he's saying
media,
that.
and powerful elites to control populations, infringe on civil liberty,
I'm not understanding. What do you mean COVID-19 is a hoax? Like you're saying that it doesn't exist, or you saying like the government made it?
or advance hidden agendas. Some versions of the theory claim that the virus itself is fake, while others argue that it exists, but its severity was deliberately overstated. Central to the conspiracy
Oh,
are
yeah, for
ideas
sure.
that lockdowns, mask mandates, and vaccines were tools of mass manipulation designed to create fear and compliance. Skeptics of the virus pointed to inconsistencies in information, such as changing guidelines from health officials, as evidence of a cover-up. Theories varied widely, with some claiming the virus was a plot to implement authoritarian control, others suggesting it was a ruse to introduce mass vaccination programs or digital tracking through microchips. Influential figures, including some celebrities and political commentators, promoted these ideas, helping to amplify them on social media platforms. The conspiracy theory thrived due to the fear, confusion, and uncertainty surrounding the
shit is
pandemic.
no joke, bro.
Additionally, the pandemic intersected with
Damn near about to
existing
fall asleep
anti-government
fucking
and
recording this shit.
anti-vaccine movements, drawing in people
tired.
already
It's
distrustful of
1
institutions.
o'clock
The
a.m.
COVID-19 hoax narratives has had dangerous real-world consequences, leading to widespread resistance to public health measures, vaccine hesitancy, and even violence against health officials. Though thoroughly debunked by experts and backed by overwhelming evidence of the virus's impact, the conspiracy persists among certain groups who view the pandemic as part of a broader scheme to strip away freedoms and impose control on society. Thank you very much for watching this video, and if you learned something, make sure to leave a
Man,
like,
not really,
comment down below your
probably.
thoughts
I
on
don't
any of the
know about that
conspiracies I
one.
discussed, and subscribe if you would like to see a part 2 or more videos like this one. Thank you again, and goodbye.
Oh
August
shit,
1st.
I did not mean to do that. I don't know. I mean, everything he said was pretty accurate. Some stuff was I feel like he got half a truth out, but not a whole truth. But yeah, I mean, shit, let me know what y'all think in the comments below about every theory. Like, tell me if y'all believe it, don't believe it. If y'all think somebody like messed up somewhere, like, oh, they were kind of right there, but that didn't actually happen. Instead, they did this kind of thing. Like, man, just, you feel me? That was a pretty good video, though. But anyways, Static Therapy. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.